5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of Real Talk with BP, and we are here with the band ADP, A Different Perspective. We got Alex Loafman Jones, Shane Wheeler, Jackson Newhart, Brennan Pinkeye, and what's your name, my man? Brandon Forrester. And you know what's funny about this shit? No, like I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, okay? Every time I bring up your guys' band, like in my podcast, I always forget this fucking dude's name, and it's insane. And I'm like, I said,
chilling in the shadows, making sure everything is right.
hey, you know what? You matter, my man. That's all that matters. But the thing is that I was like, I said 4 of them, but I know there's another dude out there. There's 5 of them. So I'm like, hey, shout out to you, my man. But I'm gonna share my little connection with the band here a little bit. I've known these guys for a while since I've grown up. I've grown up with Jackson, Brennan, Clay, and Alex actually was he graduated with me, and Clay graduated with me. Shane, I met him a couple years ago, and Brandon Forrester, I actually just now started to meet him. I'm fucking up your name, man. What's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan? Alright, fuck. His name's Ryan. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, but let me tell you something. You got to.
I mean, there's 6 of us.
Hey, but let me tell you something. This is real talk, okay? You got to be honest when you make mistakes out here. All right, I'm sorry, Ryan.
It's all good, brother. No,
But yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. I started listening to these guys as this type of music, this genre of music when I actually met Jackson, because before that I didn't really, wasn't really too experienced in this type of genre, and it really opened my eyes to it, because I usually listen to the classical rock, rap, country, and shit like that. But then, Jackson came along and he was like, hey, listen to this shit. And I was like, man, this is kind of badass, fellas. I was like, this is some shit you can bump in the weight room right here. So, my main thing is, for those people out there that aren't really experienced in music and don't really, have the background or growing up, like listen to this type of genre of music, what would you say to those people like that that aren't really experienced in this type of genre of music? Like, how would you get them into it?
You gotta be open-minded.
I'm gonna need you to speak into the microphone.
You gotta be open-minded.
There you go. All right, open-minded.
Yeah, you gotta look past a lot of things in it. It's really about the feel more than anything.
Shane, anything?
Do I have to lean forward?
Yes, you do.
I'd say be open-minded, but more like, I don't know, like just listen to new shit. Like, listening to the same shit's boring. So start off soft. If you don't like screaming, listen to rock. I don't know, turn on Banana 101.5 and listen to some of the like anthem bangers right now, and like some of the fucking like big rock bands that are getting attention, and go from there. I don't know, just dive in, experience. Like, music is everywhere, and it's not that hard to find, like, if you want to get into it more,
All right, I feel you on that one. And another thing too is you guys been doing this for a while, because I think the first time you guys, was it middle school when you guys got together? And because I remember watching you guys in the middle school talent show up at the top of the bleachers, like, yeah, this rocks. So, oh yeah, absolutely. So my question is, how'd you guys start off? Like, even before, joining the band, like, what was your guys' friendship like going into it? And you guys, hey, feel free to jump in and say something too, all right?
Well, I was friends with Brennan, since like 5th grade. We played basketball together. Then Shane and I met in middle school. I heard he played drums, and I actually recorded a voice memo my iPod 4.
Really?
And I ran him down in the hallway. I was like, bro, you gotta listen to this. Like, I want to play, music with you. And he heard it, and it's history since then. We've been killing it ever since.
There you go.
Metallica started it off, dude.
Metallica. That's one of my favorites right there. How'd you get to know these guys here, Alex?
Well, I was in. I probably
Here,
have to
yeah,
get closer
scoot
to this
over.
Yeah.
microphone.
We snagged Alex.
Yeah, we did. From Ryan, actually.
So I was actually playing a show with Ryan, one of the talent shows that they were doing as well in middle school, and we were playing Everlong by the Foo Fighters, and we were right before them in the set somewhere for the night, and they obviously won that night with their little melody of songs, but they decided that night that they were going to try to get me to join the band, so they texted me and gave me a few songs to learn, and I joined after that. Before that, though, I didn't really know Jackson at all. Shane didn't really like me for a little bit there. We were both in percussion in middle school together, and from what I heard from mutual friends, he wasn't a fan.
Yeah, a little competition there, right? All right, so Ryan, no, they kind of stole him away from you, right? So with them seeing, them take Alex away from you, and now you're in the band and you're rocking out with them. How did you go over with Alex? How'd that play out?
Well, the thing is about it, I've known all these dudes for years. So they say we stole Alex from you, but really they just hopped on the trolley that Alex and I were already on.
Ah, that makes sense.
We just hopped on the same trolley that both of us were riding on different tracks. All right, but listen. Shane and I go back to the start of middle school. Of course, we didn't like each other. Prepubescent boys, 6th grade. We're both in percussion class, and we both were, stubborn. So, we grew out of that, getting older. But I know Jason from way back. Jackson, my bad. We call him Jason. Jasmine newspapers. But, anyways, we go way back to Morris Elementary. But Alex and I. Alex, back in, what was it? Must have been like 2010, 2011? 2011. Moved into a neighborhood that I grew up in, and he moved right across the street. And the very first thing that I actually remember about this guy is that he was on what we called the big toy, the park playground in the neighborhood.
Okay.
With his guitar, and he was singing, "Baby, are you down, down, down?"
Oh. So is that how you started getting all the ladies?
No.
No.
The ladies didn't like that.
All right.
They didn't start working until after high school.
I gotcha. So my question is, you said you were in percussion, right?
Yeah.
So how many percussionists do we have here?
3.
We have 3. Okay. So can we all agree that Shane's the better out of the 3 of you?
Okay, well, at drum set, yeah. But maybe a year ago, I don't know. A year ago, we were in 12th grade. A year ago, a little over a year ago. But I was center snare. I feel like I might have been better at snare drum than you for a while. And yeah, I stopped drumming as much. Hopped on the guitar.
Never been the better drummer.
Never been a better
Guitarist
drummer.
or anything like that, but it's okay.
Hey, all that matters.
I'm more varied though.
All that matters, Alex, is that rocking hair and those vocals, big fella.
Yeah, Alex is definitely the best singer. That's all that matters.
And then we're gonna send it over to the screamer of the group, Brennan Pinkston. Let's. How'd you get into the group here? So, I feel like you're kind of a not really a newer addition, but you've known the band. Kind of started off as a groupie, would you say? Sleeping with the band.
I'd say
Bandwagon.
so.
Yeah.
Bandwagon. 100%.
All right. So tell me how you got into the group here. Also, this is one of my great friends, ladies and gentlemen. I love this guy.
We didn't actually kiss.
Yes,
But
it is.
but it was like a year or so ago, about a year and a half ago. They had their previous screamer in the band. Should I say Owen? And they had to let him go. And Shane came with me, to me with an opportunity to be the vocalist in the band. And said, hey, if you can get this,
Came on him.
came on me. If you can get this, then
And then,
hey,
and then
you can
we
do
talked
this.
about it. I was like, hey, maybe you should be in the band.
hey, maybe you should be in the band if this is something that you think that you'll be able to do and you can do it well and better, then let's fucking get this shit going. And I did it, and still getting better and doing what I got to do. But it's been a very surreal experience to be in a band with my best friends.
Hey, you know, you said it best. You said best friends there. And, you know, when I look at you guys, I really do see a group of guys that, you know, really do love each other and, you know, best friends all the way through. And I think that's what really makes it work between you guys because, you know, you see a lot of, like, you know, young groups that try and make it or, you know, try and start something up and, you know, they just, you know, just fight all the time and they can never, you know, settle anything between themselves. So my next question is, like, I know there's got to be tension here and there between you guys, but like you guys are still rocking it through and still pushing along. So I want to know like how do you guys keep pushing through that tension and like what advice would you give for like any aspiring artist to kind of push through it?
I think it can be complicated if you make it like for real, but honestly, like we love music, and we like. I haven't met a group of people that I make music better with. I mean, I'm in Lemon Collies too. You know, I love making music with them too. But they like this group. There's just it doesn't really matter how bad we fight because 30 minutes later we will be playing our asses off like and smiling, and then right after like, yo, we should try that. It, like coming up with ideas. Like it doesn't matter because normally the fights are all about how we think we can be better in like trying to figure out which one is the best way in trial and error, and like we're all still learning, so like it takes time, but keeping an open mind and being able to listen, like good communication skills, but like ultimately, like I said, just like loving what you do, be passionate about it, and like don't let petty shit and like childish bickering get in the way of like creating art and like doing what you love and having fun with, like Brennan said, your best friends. Like that's really all that matters, and that's how you're gonna make something great.
Yeah, I understand that completely.
I wanted to comment on the fact Shane mentioned having an open mind, and you know, being in a band with some of your close friends and being called a different perspective, we should be able to keep that notion in mind and strive to really think about how others are thinking. And I feel like that variety that we bring into that music with that ability, I feel like that's where we find our tactfulness and our ability to resolve what we're, you know, because like Shane said, it's really just stupid bickering things about how when we're trying to find out which way is the best way to get better.
Yeah, and you know that's what's great about, you know, listening to you guys talk about that right now is like you guys are saying you're trying to find ways to get better, and that's basically what most of, you know, the tension and arguments are, is ways to get better. And, you know, like you said, 30 minutes later, you guys are back at it, going at it again. And I actually want to talk about the name of the band real quick, a different perspective. Now, is this a name that, like, you knew from the start you wanted, or, like,
No, fuck no.
or, like, what was the first name that you guys wanted to start off with?
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans, yep.
Remember the Titans.
Like freshman year.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. Yeah.
It was a good
And that
Denzel
was
Washington.
Fight to Forget.
A fight. Now that's the one I remember.
Yeah,
A
that
Fight
was
to Forget.
Like sophomore year. Was
Yeah.
Fight to Forget. And then a different perspective was.
That was like my sophomore year.
That was like June. Like once we like finally got everything together and
Yeah.
kind of started solidifying our lineup and our
Mhm.
sound, and it was like a different. Like that's. Yeah.
And
once we had that, we were like, okay, we got to stop changing names. That was ultimately
Yeah.
what it came to. Like band names are just awkward to me, man. Like
Yeah.
everything sounds weird. So.
And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, A Fight to Forget was nice, but like when you guys like changed it to a different perspective, I knew like right then I was like, yeah, that's pretty badass right there. Like
Appreciate it.
you're going through the playlist and you see ADP and then a different perspective, and like you're like, yeah, like you know they're about to fuck shit up right here. So, and another thing too is not only do they you know fuck music up, but let me tell you, those shirts. Who did the shirts, by the way, guys?
Yeah, Billy Conrad.
Billy Conrad. He's also doing some other good artwork too. He's killing it. But the only way you're gonna be able to get the shirts, fellas and ladies out there, you gotta come to the show. That's the only way. Come to the show. You can find the Addy. You can find the information online. But the only way to get those cool shirts are at the show. I'm gonna have to pick one up because if you look at them, you're not even gonna want to wear it. You're gonna want to frame that bitch. Okay? So, let me tell you. Come to the show, get a shirt, but most importantly, enjoy some good music. All right?
For real.
Exactly. Now, I'm gonna ask you about the single coming out, okay, guys? Now, how much time did you put into this? Like, when did, like, what was the preparation for this?
Honestly, like, probably too long, mate. But like,
It's been like 2 years.
2
yeah,
3 years.
well, we first wrote the song when we were like 15. Like that was the first draft of the song was like sophomore year
Yeah.
or something like that. So
I think it was.
4
Takes
years
time,
ago,
though.
You know, the song we're releasing this Friday, I think, is a completely different song than that song we wrote, but the same exact song. If that makes
Yeah,
sense. Like
it does.
there-
Yeah.
we took that 3 years and like not only wrote more songs, obviously I hope in 4 years,
Right.
but we wrote, we have our album almost, we have the singles for after, and like we wanted to wait and do it right, and we finally got this song to where like we feel it tells the story, because this song, like dead ass, is a story start to finish. It's like a 5-minute song, like for our first
Yeah.
song, but like it's a story, and like I wanted to make sure that Alex's voice got heard, and that what he like experienced and like what he had to say was, I don't know, given the time it deserved, you know. And I think that where it is, and for recording it in a basement and writing it in a basement and everything, doing it just us, like 100% us. We sent it off to David Roof for mastering, so he helped with that. So that's nice, but pretty much everything else, all us, and I think we have it the best we can, and yeah.
Now, Alex, hearing Shane say that, hearing him say, you know, you want to make sure, you know, your voice was heard. How do you feel about that?
Well, I guess like I'm kind of in agreement with that too. Like that was like like one of the first songs I really wrote that had some like impactful emotions just from like my life and just events that have happened throughout it. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, I got it. I got it. All right. So, now Jackson.
Yeah.
I've seen you shred on the guitar ever since middle school. Okay, I'd go nuts, and let me tell you guys, Jackson is someone that I've knew ever since I was in 6th grade, going all the way through high school, and Jackson taught me a lot of things in life, a lot of things growing up, because I've always hung out with the older crowd. I always felt like I was more mature than people in my class, and I've always hung out with guys like Jackson and Brennan and Tyler Kolarsky and Dylan Bird, yeah, and even guys older than that like Joe Hill and things like that. So watching you just go out there and shred the guitar, it was awesome to me, because I looked at it, and even though I wasn't into instruments and bands and things like that, I looked at it as if he has a dream, he has a goal, and he really wants to go out and get it. So when you look at it as not just playing an instrument, but as a goal that you want to reach, how does that change the mindset of making music?
Damn, that's a good question, dude. Wow. Well, it really, like, I feel like right here there's something special. Like, I walk into practice every Monday. You don't know what it's going to be, but it's always good. Always a good feeling when you walk in there. You look at your instrument, it doesn't turn into, like, something you play, but you're learning, sorry, the ins and outs, everything about it, how to move your fingers better, how to hit strings differently to make different things happen. you got to experiment. You got to throw your. I was telling Ben Roberts the other day. He was actually last night. He asked me this question. He said, "How do you write like a song for metal? It's literally just do uncomfortable things."
Yep.
You know, I feel
Absolutely.
like you know that with football. Like
Yeah.
you got to be uncomfortable sometimes.
Absolutely. That's the
Like,
only way to
yeah,
success is being uncomfortable, man. I
You
understand.
gotta drive yourself better, get better actually. So,
Oh yeah.
you know, just wake up every day, good mentality, get better.
Yeah, I feel that,
Shock
man.
the world.
Shock the world. I like that. And you know, you said it best. You got to be uncomfortable because, you know, I said this in a couple other podcasts before. You know, the only way to success is you got to get out of your comfort zone. And there's something else I always say in my podcast too is, you know, you yourself determine your future. And when I look at you guys, I see that you're not letting anybody else but yourself determine who you want to be and determine how far you're going to go. Because I believe that if you let someone else determine your success, that just puts a limit of how much you can do. But you guys, you're going above and beyond the moon, the stars, everything like that. And, you know, I believe that if you keep up this same mentality, you guys are going to kill it. And, you know, yeah, you guys
For real.
you guys are, you know, starting off small. Like you said, you made all this shit in the basement. Think about that. Imagine the story behind your guys' band coming out and you guys make it big, top of charts and shit like that. And then it said, oh yeah, we started this in a basement.
That'd be dope.
It would be. Imagine the movie behind that.
That's what I've been saying this whole
Yeah.
time.
Yep. Exactly.
That would be dope.
I'm telling you.
That'd be so cool.
Gotta have a movie.
Yeah.
At the same time,
I mean, like, I don't.
Oh, Ozzy.
I don't think that's like the ultimate goal, though. You know, I hope not.
Yeah.
Like, I think the ultimate goal is us just like getting to do this for as long as possible. And like, honestly, I think we all just want to like be able to travel, like, and have a career in music somehow, doing this. You know, like we don't really care about the money or movie or shit like that. Like, honestly, we just want to play music and
Yeah.
see cool places. Like, the world's so much bigger than Swords Creek and where we are, you know.
Yeah.
Like, we want to get out of the little bubble we've been living in and experience.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because the world is so much bigger. And, you know, I feel like, you know, people kind of forget that, you know, and they feel restricted to one area and they don't want to get out and do other things because, like you said, they're afraid to be uncomfortable. But, you know, I'm glad that you said, you know, it's not about really the money or anything like that. You know, it's about going out and, you know, showing your music to everybody else and just seeing the world. That's amazing. You want to say something? Go ahead, Ryan.
yeah, I was just gonna talk about. Hold on, give me a second to the notion that we were discussing earlier. So I was gonna say something, but somebody else said something, so I started thinking about what they said, and I have to recall what I said.
Take your time, Ryan. It's okay.
That was crazy.
Well, while he thinks about it, I just gotta ask.
Yeah, put a pin in it. Just let us know if you.
Yeah.
It'll come
Once
back.
once it
We're
comes
on
to
your
you.
time now, buddy.
Yeah, it's okay. But I have to ask, Shane. How do you get your hair like that?
You see, okay. I'm gonna tell a secret. I wake up, and dude, that's it. Honestly, like I wake up-
Really?
yeah. It's
Really?
It's kind of fucking crazy. Yeah. Thanks, mom, and that's yeah.
Does your mom have the same hair?
My mom has curly hair. Yeah.
Wow.
That's where I get it from.
I
Not
can-
that curly.
Not quite,
Wow.
no, not quite this girl. I don't know, dude. It's weird. Like, I'm the only one in my family who looks like this. I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm adopted. Maybe they just didn't tell me. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But I mean, right now it's extra fluffy. I brushed it recently. Like,
Oh,
lately
yeah?
I've been trying to take
Yeah.
extra good care of it.
Extra good care.
Extra good. Yeah. 'cause,
Well,
like,
let me tell you, it
dreads
looks
naturally,
soft.
and like, dude, if I go one day without like combing every fucking inch of it, I'll wake up with dreads starting to form in my hair, and I'm like, shit.
I'm gonna tell you, it looks like shit you would put in a memory foam pillow right now. That's all.
It does give
Yeah.
me extra padding.
Does it really?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
it
like-
keeps my ears don't get cold, but I have to wear a hat at work. And
Ah.
while
Oh,
I'm
how does
outside,
that
dude,
work?
Not very well. And,
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
have to walk
Show me
outside.
a picture real quick.
Yeah, let's send it to him so we can like
I
put
mean,
it
you
in
don't-
the
you don't
YouTube
die.
clip.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'll walk outside and my ears will get cold and like I can hear the wind and it's the weirdest thing. I'm just not used to it.
So
It's like my little helmet.
Ah, I gotcha.
Yeah, it's my safety blanket.
So I have another question. I feel like it gets pretty loud down here. Okay, you know, drumming away all the guitars. So do you have to wear headphones or do you just pull that over your ears and
Yeah,
just?
I wear ears to play because we run like backing tracks and click and
Okay.
stuff, and I like monitoring my kit stuff.
Gotcha.
Like that. But
We all should be
even
wearing.
when I didn't, I would wear headphones because I mean I've been playing loud like this in my basement since I was in elementary, and I even like I have tinnitus now. Like I have ringing in my
Tinnitus.
ears. Yeah, like I have super bad.
Well, at least you don't
it's
got
not-
corona.
It's not super bad, but like when I go to sleep, like if it's silent, I get ringing and like. But I get ringing in my ears and like I have super bad hearing, so now I always do, and I always tell them, like I told them the other day, we were just talking about it, I was like, from now on, like everybody needs to have some sort of hearing
And
protection.
who was the only one at practice today that had a hearing protection?
Ryan?
There
Just
you go,
playing.
Ryan.
Just playing. No,
And-
this is the first
and
freaking
hold on.
practice that-
It's not tendinitis. Tendinitis would be with your tendons.
It's tinnitus.
It's tinnitus.
What you mean?
No, you said tinnitus.
Oh, okay.
But someone over here said tendinitis.
Brendan was like, is it tendinitis?
I have the picture.
Oh, he has a picture, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's going on the cover.
I will say
That's going on the cover.
you gotta put it on.
Because let me tell you, that truly is a different perspective of Shane.
New album called Confused.
Yeah.
Confused and dazed.
But I have to say, everybody's here, like everybody's hair right now, it looks amazing. Like Jackson, you got the little samurai look going on.
Oh, yeah.
You Shane, you got the fro. Alex, oh, the ginger locks, I love it. Ryan, I like it. But Brennan,
Now here's a hat.
take the hat off.
Take it off, man.
Well,
You
see,
got
it's
some long
it's
hair.
it's
I
see,
like
it's
brown
getting there.
better with long hair
It's getting there.
now.
I think you should put some color in it.
Oh, do you want me to dye it?
No,
What color should I dye?
no
I don't-
bullshit. Brennan, haven't I been telling you to dye your hair?
Oh, 100%.
See?
Dude, that's
The
what I'm
peop-
saying.
the
like,
people
it's
want it,
longer,
man.
Like,
What
if
color,
you,
though?
if you dyed your hair and styled it a little bit,
Neon
it'd look good, man.
So
I'm
neon blue?
telling you.
Dude,
Hey,
Nice.
what I think you should do,
Stripe of
Shit,
pink
just
down
like-
the center. Like
Just do something
diagonally.
kind of clean, like I don't know.
I think you should
I want to put
Switch
some
it up.
blonde in it.
put
Yeah.
like
Black.
ice white.
Ice
Make it
white.
make it like white like
frosted
paper.
tips.
Like
Yeah, dude, Guy Fieri, that
Tips,
shit.
bro.
Guy Fieri.
I was thinking about
Flavor
ice.
Take it to
Hey,
Flavor
are
Town,
you
Brennan.
gonna take him to Flavortown, Brennan?
I'll take everyone to Flavor Town.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to go to Flavortown, make sure you show up to this show. All right, because Brendan's gonna take you there.
Braden
Now-
Finger sauce is gonna go to Flavor.
Oh no. All right, now we're talking about hair. Let's dig deep into hair a little bit. Now you look at the big bands, right? You know, now way back when, because people just don't rock out like the big bands anymore, like Def Leppard, you know, all those guys. Like, if you think about it, like, who had the best hairstyle? Like, what group do you think, like?
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N'
Yep.
Roses. I had
Guns N'
Roses
Roses
had the
Slash.
best hairstyle,
Axl
dude.
Rose and Slash, dude.
so I think we can all
I
agree.
used to want to style my hair like
Right on,
Slash
Brennan.
when I was younger. Like that.
Right on.
Dude,
that was
it
my
had to be
goal.
the best
Like
person in the
9
world.
years
Yeah,
old,
seriously,
10
me
years
too.
old, when I really started growing it out and it got super like ringlety, I was like, Mom, like I'm gonna look like Slash. Like,
Have you got a
so,
haircut
you know,
since
I
10
will
years old?
back Guns N' Roses and
Twice.
because of Slash.
Twice.
Back there. But dude, honestly, like Motley Crue had some pretty wild hair.
Yeah,
Oh
sure.
yeah,
Yeah, they-
very
Yeah.
true.
They all did. They all did.
Do you
Boys,
think
like they all did?
do you think drugs affect hair growth?
I don't know. Probably like hardcore drugs probably don't help it.
Yeah, I feel like you'd lose hair at that
don't
point.
think they
drugs,
help
don't do
anyone.
hardcore
that is very true, Jackson. Hey, lesson. Hey,
Nothing more than childhood trauma. Seriously.
yeah. Okay, so everybody listening right now, from a very, very good learning point from ADP, don't do hard drugs.
Just
Okay.
weed.
well, it's legal in Michigan now. Okay. Now,
At the age
yeah.
of 21.
Now, Jackson, you used to play baseball and
Yeah.
things like that. I don't know if you've seen, but the MLB is now not drug testing for marijuana anymore. Yeah, so out of when they do drug tests,
Well,
they
Jackson might quit the band. I'm sorry. I just had to.
I'm about to go play baseball again.
oh really? Hey, go play. Go watch out, Yankees. But but yeah. So now when they do drug tests, they're not tested for weed anymore.
And they test the whole state of Michigan. And it's actually legal here.
Oh yeah.
Makes no sense.
But
Yeah, good for the MLB.
hey, now maybe the Tigers can actually get some stars now.
They probably can. It's legal here in the MLB. They're perfectly fine.
Oh yeah. Go head down to county and see if they can pick up any MLB players.
They come to jail.
oh yeah.
That's funny.
Sluggers in there.
Oh, you already know.
I already do know. I've been to jail twice.
Okay, Brian. We gotta remember this is family friendly here. No, I'm just joking. But hey, so let me ask you a question, fellas. At what age would you recommend kids to listen to like metal and shit like that? Like,
Oh, dude.
Any age.
I was
Hey,
just-
hey,
Day
look.
one.
I'm just gonna say, like, it's more common than I realized. Like, parents like thinking some metal, yeah, like you probably shouldn't be letting your little kid listen to. Just like some rap, you fucking shouldn't. Some pop, you shouldn't.
definitely
Some
shouldn't.
reggae, you shouldn't. Some like it's any type of music. Like just monitor what they're listening to. But there's very inspirational metal. There's very inspirational rap.
Yeah.
There's very inspirational pop. There's very inspirational like it's more. Don't be so close-minded. I guess like let your kid listen to what they like and what they vibe with. Like I've talked to so many people, and I remember growing up and like my friends dead ass being scared to listen to the music they liked in front of their parents, and like their parents telling them they cannot listen to it, and they couldn't even they couldn't join like our band or shit like that because it was metal, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like it's
Yeah.
a genre of music,
A lot of the time, I feel like when people hear metal, well, first of all, if they don't listen to it very often, and obviously, your first take on it is gonna sound like it's aggressive and angry. But a lot of the time, you hear metal, and if you are actually paying attention for the words, or if you're reading the words with the song, a lot of it is actually sometimes very philosophical or introspective, and like that. I feel like that in and of itself helped me to change my perspective when I was like, middle school, because obviously that's what I thought of too. I was like, man, that sounds really angry, and then I started listening to it more and more, changing my perspective on it because I heard the words
changing
they
your
were
perspective.
saying. Yeah.
Look at it through a different perspective.
Yeah. All right. We got the DILF coming in, Clay Reinfelder. Hey, Papa Squat, big guy. So, listen to these. Now, I imagine you listened to them perform before, right?
Yep.
So, from as a someone watching them and listening to them, progress. How do you feel like they're doing right now? You think they're on the right track?
Yes, 100%. I think they're on a great track to where they want to go. They see a future, and they're all pushing to make it happen. They all are putting in the work. They practice all the time. They're putting in the work for it, and they want to have that good outcome, and they're doing it.
Hey, I appreciate you, Clay. I really like your input, and I couldn't agree more. I see them, always, putting things out there on Twitter and saying, hey, make sure you check out our show. Come to the show, and like to do that, you gotta have preparation. You gotta be ready. You gotta be set, and you guys are ready and set. Hey, Pink Eye, get your foot off the box. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, let's talk about some different bands here, fellas. There's one band.
Clay, thank you.
Yeah, I love you, Clay. Thank you, buddy. But there's one band that I feel like kind of gets a bad rap, and that's Nickelback.
Nickelback goes
Nickelback,
hard.
bro.
A
I'll
different
talk about
perspective
Nickelback.
fully endorses Nickelback. And
Okay.
ADP, the P stands for
we
Nickelback
don't give a
sometimes.
fuck about the hate.
You heard it here
Nickelback- 'cause
first.
The thing about Nickelback, like, sure, yeah, they like. Some of the hate is justifiable, but like they have bangers.
Exactly.
They have
I
bangers.
agree.
And, like,
I
their-
agree.
Their bangers make up for it because I'd say they at least have 5 bangers that like almost everybody in the world knows, and like
everybody knows Photograph.
you can turn up to at any point in your life, at any time period. Like it just
Like
doesn't matter.
Rockstar.
That's what-
Like Rockstar, that's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
dude.
Just goes too far.
And like
Yeah.
it just, how can you not? How can you not?
Exactly. Now, Brendan, you wanted to say
Oh, I
something?
do.
Yeah,
I'm
go
a
ahead.
huge Nickelback fan. I've been listening to them since I was a kid, and I will fully say I do love Nickelback. They're a solid Canadian band, just like Shinedown.
Wait,
is
they're
Canadian.
Canadian?
Don't you know?
Yes.
Are they really?
Yes, that's why they get so much hate. Is because they're Canadian.
You don't
And they
say.
think
Eh?
they make shit music. I don't think they do.
You said Shinedown's Canadian too?
Shinedown is also Canadian.
Hey, well, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Oh yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
But no, Nickelback's a good band. Like, I think if anybody hated on Nickelback and one of their songs played somewhere, like, they would listen to it and they would enjoy it.
I feel like
I feel like-
Nickelback's new stuff though. So I haven't really listened.
Feed the Machine's a good song. I'll throw that out there.
Machine, baby.
They write some good riffs.
Hey,
I give them that. They do write some good riffs.
speaking of Machine, there's one band I love deep down, and that's Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah,
They're coming back, aren't they?
I did.
Show in Cali, I think.
Yeah, I think Coachella, man.
I think it is Coachella.
Yeah, it is Coachella, but I love them.
Let's go to Coachella.
Hey,
ADP goes to Coachella.
yeah.
Bring Brenner to do
Oh yeah,
podcasts.
I'll be sitting there at a little table, like we're here at Coachella with ADP.
Coachella. We're sleeping out of the back of our cars. Right?
I've totally honestly brought it back. in my
Dude,
car.
so would I. That'd be
Yeah,
lit.
Out of the back of the van.
I'd have to get a van though. I couldn't sleep in my Buick.
I mean, no,
I couldn't.
the
I'm
weather,
sorry.
If the weather was nice, I would just hang a hammock
Yeah.
between 2 vehicles.
But I don't really know if I want to travel out of Michigan right now with the coronavirus going on.
Yeah.
I don't drink Corona, so I'm all good.
Same, I do.
Oh,
I don't like beer. I prefer the things that taste right. So
ah. But yeah, you know what's funny about that?
I'm not like R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, if you hear this, I'm sorry. But you know what's crazy is that so they're starting to say that the coronavirus started from bats.
Yeah, I saw
People
that
eating
today,
bats.
actually.
People eating bats.
People eating bats
So does
at a
does
Chinese restaurant.
does Ozzy
No way.
Wait,
Oh, man.
so does
in soup.
Oh.
They cook him in soup.
does Ozzy Osbourne have coronavirus then?
He's got Parkinson's.
Oh no!
For real, he's got
Hey, you
Parkinson's.
can't joke about Ozzy and Parkinson's. Okay, that's a legend.
Yeah.
He has
right
Parkinson's.
there. Yeah, he does. Facts.
Yeah, he just came out on Twitter.
Sharon,
Holy-
Sharon.
How old is he?
71. 71.
We just talked about that the other day.
Yeah,
And
no, I
he's
didn't
releasing
remember.
You ever notice how he
That's
walks?
Crazy, dude. He's still kicking hard. That,
Yeah, he is.
He's like
He's got some
the
new good
OG
songs.
rock star. Like that's who
Yes.
Motley Crue got
Yes.
those ideas from. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, oh my god, that's impressive.
Did they really quarantine like 20 million people?
World Health Organization commented on it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wait, there's a
the-
World Health Organization?
yeah, the
You can't fly to
WHO.
China. You can't fly out of
Well,
China.
Apple is shutting down all the like their businesses and stuff in China. Like they're
Dude, I didn't know it was that bad. Like
I didn't
honestly, I
either.
haven't
Holy
followed
hell.
up
Yeah.
on it that much.
But what I think it is, honestly, I think it's the government. I think the government is like getting involved with, like foreign affairs, and because like I feel like it's like they're trying to fuck up the business because Apple's shutting down, all these other businesses that have stuff over in China are shutting down. I think there's something going on there, fellas.
With the finances.
Yeah,
Have you-
possibly.
have you
I-
happened to
This
stumble
world's a crazy
across,
place right now, man.
About to say, get Ryan in the microphone. I'll be here for a second.
Yeah.
In 2015, the coronavirus was actually patented as a vaccine.
Was it really?
Yes, it was, and you can actually research the Google patent online. You can find it online still.
What?
And in 2018, it actually expired. And now suddenly this outburst of this corona disease. I mean, not to say I'm not, obviously I have no idea what happened, but they were using a strain and a vaccine to try and prevent certain sicknesses.
Oh.
But this was a couple years ago, so this could have led to an outbreak as well.
They're gonna delete
And
this video
to
on
save,
YouTube.
to save that pharmaceutical industry, maybe they did blame it on bats, just like the swine flu, or not the swine flu,
Yeah.
but what was that? What was that one?
Bird
Just
flu.
Was it Ebola?
it was Ebola.
Wow. That kind of died off, didn't it?
It did.
Like
Still
you
got
like there's not a trace of that. Like you cannot, like no one's bringing that up anymore.
What happened to that?
Exactly.
I think
What
there's
happened to
actually
that?
Some people that are still suffering from.
Is it really?
I remember being in
Yeah.
class,
College.
like watching the Ebola videos for the fucking
Yeah.
news. That's what was going on.
And like there was like someone that supposedly like came back from the dead because they had Ebola. You heard that? Yeah.
Some zombies.
Yeah. But isn't that
It's a
crazy?
movie. I swear to God, like we're in a simulation.
Do you guys remember like
That's
the?
the answer. That's why shit's crazy. It's a simulation.
Do you remember those voodoo
We're in a
zombies
video
from
game.
Haiti after the earthquake though?
Make the
Like,
most
you heard
of
about
it.
those?
Live the
What?
longest
Am I
to
the
the
only
most
one?
extent that
The
you
only
can.
one that was like a kid that after that big earthquake in Haiti that heard about like the voodoo zombies and stuff. in Haiti.
I didn't hear anything. About
Dude.
Maybe that's some crazy, maybe that's just some crazy shit I heard at church or something. I don't know.
Voodoo.
Voodoo zombies in God's house.
Does that make
I
sense?
like I
Does that
like
make it like
I mean I like voodoo from Godsmack, but I don't know about. But
Isn't there like a voodoo music genre? Like, isn't
Voodoo
voodoo?
core.
I think if you go down to like
Oh.
the southern states, you could
Oh yeah,
find
like
it.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have no idea. Maybe that's just something from my.
And
Yeah, maybe
just-
that's stereotypical. I have no idea.
I'm just going to put this out there right now. None of us are under the influence of drugs right now. Okay? Everything is just straight up from the mind.
Yeah, we just chill.
Like, yeah. And this is another thing too.
Sugar's a drug, so I mean, we're all under.
I am drinking.
We can actually talk about that in a minute. That's a good point, but do not get into drugs, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not worth it, man.
It really isn't, because it will ruin your life. And I'm not talking about this from experience because I don't have any experience, but looking at other people and the roads that they go down, it really does ruin people's lives. So just stay away from it, because there really isn't a need for it. There really isn't.
There isn't. Brendan, can I ask you a question, man?
Yeah.
What's the most important thing to you?
The most important
To your well-being. What is the most important thing to you?
for my well-being,
Yeah.
I'd
Like, even like
Let me
really
see.
basic. Like
Basic?
And basic, yeah.
to be happy. To
Be happy, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So to be happy, wouldn't you agree that you have to be healthy?
Exactly.
So health is one of the most important things in our lives, and we don't really appreciate that until we're sick. And
yeah.
when you're gonna look in hindsight, if you do follow that path, and you're gonna be like, dang, man, like I'm stuck here, but if I could have just changed these little decisions, I could be somewhere completely different.
I agree with you, Ryan. That's actually a really good point that you brought up. I believe because like you said, you got to be healthy to be happy. So if you take care of your bodies, you're gonna live a much better life. And
Amen.
I believe that a lot of people they don't really care about their bodies anymore. And someone that I want to kind of give a shout out to here is Clay Reinfelder. All right, because I don't know if you guys seen him lately or not, but I'm gonna be completely honest. He had some weight on him in high school, but you look at this kid now, and this guy he's fit. He lost weight,
It looks good.
and yeah, he looked it really did. It's better than the halftime show. But
For sure. For
But
sure better than that.
Clay,
Great halftime.
oh you want to know who we should do a halftime show? Metallica.
Never.
Never. Why?
They would never have Metallica. This week.
I feel like
But
Metallica wouldn't
shouldn't they?
agree. I feel
Shouldn't they?
They should, yeah, but they won't.
I
Yeah,
know,
I
which
don't
is
think they'd
it's
agree.
yeah.
I feel like that. It'd be
And
tough.
you want to know what's sad? Because I kind of feel this way. I feel like there's not that many people in America that just like that type of music.
Like everyone knows who Metallica is, though. I feel like.
Yeah,
I understand.
exactly.
If you don't know who Metallica is,
Yeah,
are you
just
really like?
uncultured.
Have you been
Uncultured.
on YouTube or like
Calling people out, Jason.
Facebook?
I mean, dude, it's Metallica.
That is true.
Saying like a small band.
Oh, they're the biggest band in rock
No.
and metal.
Cool history.
No, see, that's-
like they're gonna be the first on the move for sure.
Now, like, the thing is like, I see where you're saying like that, but like what I'm also trying to say is like people may know of Metallica and like that genre of music, but I feel like there's a lot of people in the United States that would rather flow to like the R&B and like pop, and I feel like that's just where it's going nowadays for some reason. And I really don't, because I feel like if people actually sat down and listened to like Metallica and, you know, even like Motley Crue and like things like that, they'd have a whole different perspective on music.
I think if people sat down and instead of listening with a expectation or to for a certain goal or whatever, if they just sat down and listened and felt, just listen and feel. Because like if you sit down and listen and feel most of these metal songs and like stuff like that, like the reason why they're screaming is like the amount of passion and emotion and hurt or happiness or whatever they're talking about, whatever it may be, but like it's not enough just to sing sometimes. It's not enough just to talk. It's not enough just to say. It like sometimes they need to fully just let it all out. Like, and if you can just sit, close your eyes, like just feel, like try to feel what they're feeling, I guarantee you'll get a different experience. Do that with all music. Like I said, like I love rap, I love pop, I love metal, I love all kinds of music because like I try to just feel what they were going through or whatever it may be, and like I hope, and it seems like lately there's a more metal's kind of on the come up again, and like I hope we're heading towards
an
age to where we all just listen to music that we like. Like it's no longer like, oh, like I'm like stuck in my bubble of rapper. It's like, nah, man, like what you jamming? Oh, I'm jamming like a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not common enough. I feel like
It's becoming more common.
it's becoming
Right.
more common though, and it's nice, dude. It's nice because I'm starting to find so much more music now that like people are. They're not just stuck, like I said, in their little bubble. Like they have so much more to share. Like we can all fucking learn new bands.
Speaking of new bands, well, to me they're new. I started listening to them a few days ago. Was Ice and Nine Kills, and I started listening to them a few days ago, and I'm gonna say like there's a few songs I really like, but I feel like I have to kind of sit down and listen to them a little bit more to like actually like get into it, because like
Yeah,
I start
extreme with it.
Yeah.
they're
Different.
good, but like they're
yeah
That shit's interesting.
yeah
If you're into that kind of stuff, yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah
It's cool to listen to. They just like throw their own little spin on like a movie or book.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Make this metal masterpiece out of it.
Really?
brutal, man.
Yeah.
You should listen to
They're
Dayseeker's new album. Honestly.
Dayseekers.
I love that. Dayseeker's new album, Sleep Talk. Like, I think if somebody's trying to get into metal, that's the album
Really?
to listen
Perfect
to.
Really?
place to
It's got
start.
soft songs that don't scream at all and are like acoustic. They got a song with a girl. They got songs that scream. They got songs that you can cry to, that you can punch shit to, that you can like. It's just
Question God and your
question your
existence.
existence too. Like it doesn't matter.
Drink
Like
your life away and then drive a car.
Oh hey,
not
no,
that.
no.
Not
Hey,
that.
let's okay. Hey, we took a turn here.
That was a joke.
We took a turn.
Dayseeker.
Well,
Dayseeker.
so you heard it here first.
Bring the horizon.
Dayseeker, and what was the name of the album?
Sleep talk.
Sleep Talk.
Sleep
yeah.
Talk.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the album to listen to if you're trying to get into it, I think.
absolutely. And
It's my favorite album.
forget about the drink your life away and all that. Yeah, let's
I'm
forget.
still
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
through some stuff. Alright, he's just a little bit sad. Like he
I can't rap music if I'm not.
I mean, no,
I can, but
yeah, he
like,
can, but like
It's better if
It's
I
not
am.
good.
I
It
feel
doesn't
like.
hit as hard.
doesn't hit as hard, and I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. Somebody
No.
pissed in
Chilling
his
right now.
cornflakes today.
Oh,
Chilling
no.
Right now, man. I
They
don't know.
shattered it too, bro.
But now Brennan, you said another band here, and I don't think everybody heard you.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I said bring me the horizon.
Boo.
Oh.
If you really want to get into metal
Oh,
and start listening
no.
to basic metal like I did, listen to Bring Me the Horizon. They're a good band. I got a tattoo for them too. And if it wasn't for Jackson Scott Newhart, that probably.
So
it was
different
honestly
time,
him.
Brennan.
It wasn't a different time.
Jackson, I heard you boo over there. So what's
He
up
hates
with
him.
that?
He hates him.
I don't respect him, honestly.
See,
I don't
with the
So
peop-
so do you
I
respect
respect
Brennan since he has a tattoo?
No, he doesn't.
No,
You
it's
don't
something a
respect
little
Brandon
different,
for a lot of other
different
reasons.
than,
Yeah.
than
I did. I got sucked into that shit. I really like him. I still do
Brandon
like
Yeah.
him.
stuff is good. Don't get me wrong. It's just like their new
They make
stuff
like pop
is
music
not-
now and stuff
I
though.
like
They
their-
went a different
Or,
route.
no, not their brand new album, Ammo.
Ammo.
Yeah,
They went
I
a
like
different
Ammo.
route.
It is a pretty new album.
No, it's not. They got
They
some.
just
No,
released
they
stuff
released an
out
EP of. Actually, that'd be a
No,
cool
like,
thing for people to listen to
It's
too.
a
If they like.
talented group of musicians.
rap.
I just think like me personally, like some of the ways they went about doing stuff, I'm not a fan of.
Neither am I.
I'm not a fan of the shift, and I think they kind of, I don't know, in some ways did things for money rather than what they wanted to make. But like now they're creating the music they want and they're doing them and not caring about what people have to say, and that's dope because that's what it's about. And so now I respect them more than like a couple years ago.
So with that being said, where would you what genre would you put My Chemical Romance in? Punk.
It's
So what would you say,
Emo.
Alex?
emo. They fall in directly in alternative. Alternative even.
It's like emo. What the fuck is that even?
Emo.
They're their own little thing.
Just their own little thing?
Kind of do whatever.
So what about
Dude, I'm bad at like.
They fall in the same thing I think as Fallout Boy would in the
Yeah,
beginning.
just a little more intense.
Is it like
and
pop?
and how about Panic at the Disco?
Brendan Urie
He's all
is
over the
amazing.
place.
He's just a genius.
He's
Yeah,
pop now, I'd
Yuri
say.
is-
Yeah,
ooh.
Yeah,
they're just unique.
they're
He's
unique.
unique. He's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Freddie Mercury Jr.
Yeah.
Oh really?
He's our
Yes.
generation's Freddie Mercury, 100%.
Now we're coming up on the hour mark. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna thank you guys. I appreciate you guys having me in here, interviewing you guys. And let me tell you something. I wish you the best of luck. And if you guys keep grinding the way you guys are, hey, sky's the limit. All right, you guys can keep pushing. You know, I see great things for you guys. So for Alex, Shane, Jackson, Brennan, and Ryan, good luck to you all. Make sure you guys tune into the show on Friday. And always remember, this is Real Talk with BP. And if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Thank you.